Come into my weird house. Hi, I'm Weird Barbie. I am in the splits. I have a funky haircut and I smell like basement.
Oh my God, I had a weird Barbie.
Yeah, you did.
You make them weird by
Who doesn't like the smell of a basement? That is comedian, writer, and actor Kate McKinnon. In the hit film Barbie, you know her. The Saturday Night Live alum was a cast member for 11 seasons, winning 2 Emmy Awards. Thank you very much for her performances on the show. So she started working on this debut novel before she even set foot on the SNL stage. That was more than 10 years ago. And here we are, 2024. Her book, The Millicent Quibb School of Etiquette for Young Ladies of Mad Science, is out today. Lucky you, you can get it. The young reader's book follows 3 sisters called the Port Sisters who team up with a mad scientist to save their town from a deadly creature. And Kate McKinnon, nothing deadly about her, joins us in the studio. What took you so long? This is your first time on CBS Mornings. We're thrilled to have you.
I don't know.
We're thrilled to have you.
It's been a waste of a life. Honestly, what have I been doing? And thank you so much for doing this. Is so nice.
I know, we pulled out all the stops for you, Kate.
Thank
But
you.
this is the thing about your book. We were talking, it's so whimsical, quirky, full of imagination. It made me think, what were you like as a kid? Is this you as a... Oh, I'm dropping your book. Is this you as a child?
This is me as a child. This is me now. This is me. This is me on my deathbed. I'm an oddball. I always have been. I always loved science, and I love.
You love science? Look at you as a kid. You love science as a kid?
I do. Well, not in that picture. Yeah. Oh, and I loved costumes too. It was a combo of the two. I loved costumes and I loved science. So I was always in a wig and I was always in a dress, and I wore the Snow White costume pictured there to school for a whole year, and then the year after that I was Peter Pan for the whole year.
But the imagination in the book and the storyline in the book, Kate, what's the story you wanted to tell and why it took you so long to tell it?
Well, it's about these 3 sisters, as you
Yes.
said, who live in this snooty town in 1911, and they go to etiquette school, and they don't fit in, and then they get kicked out, and then they get taken in by this mad scientist who helps them to go on a crusade to save their town. And, when I started writing it, I thought of these 3 girls who were having a hard time in this snooty town. That was, clear to me. And then, but it was not true to my life, because I had a lot of mentors growing up who encouraged me to be just who I was in all of my oddball glory, or not glory, I don't know. Anyway, my parents were...
Your parents didn't seem to encourage this for you.
They really did. My parents
are...
my parents were very funny. My mother is still with us. She's she's the funniest person I know. My father was very, very funny. And I think they saw that I had all these eccentric interests, and they just encouraged me at every turn.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, one of the things that we were talking about is just how you were able to use that creative passion that you've had clearly since you were a child to fuel it into the words and to the descriptions, and then of course the artwork that matches it in this book. It seems to us that you're still in touch. Not just you say, oh, I'm still that person, but that you're in touch with those feelings and those ideas and those images that you had as a child.
Well, I always loved creatures. I had the most pets growing up.
Still have a cat, I know.
Yes, and I had newts and salamanders and iguanas and cockroaches and...
Cockroaches?
That's another story. Every hamsters, like you couldn't believe. And I loved nature and I loved creatures. And to me, I look at... I thought about writing a book about magic, but then I look at something like, a deep-sea anglerfish, or just, there are so many things that are real, that are just the weirdest thing you could ever think of, and I wanted to channel that into just the magic of science, the magic of the real world around us.
So cool.
I'm going to need a 30-episode podcast on the childhood of Kate McKinnon.
Yes, I know, Tony.
But I am curious, as you were a fantastic performer, but even before you were on SNL, before you were in movies, you started to write this, and then it was only years later that you finished it. That moment of starting it, though, why? Did you have a moment where you thought, I'm going to be a writer and a writer alone?
It wasn't so much about I want to be a writer. It was about I wanted to, I love children's literature. I I love this genre is called middle grade. It's
Yes.
8 to 12, 8 to
young
14.
adults, yeah.
And it deals with issues of identity, of finding yourself, of the magic of the world, and it's a hopeful genre, I think, because it deals with kids figuring out how they want to help. And it's the best of us, I think. So.
And I think you ended it in such a way that it sets it up perfectly, I think, for a sequel. Can you just read a couple of ours for the children's rhyme?
Oh, sure.
you
So
just do that?
Millicent Quibb is this mad scientist who's a good guy, but everyone in the town thinks that she's bad. So this is a children's rhyme from the town of Antiquarium. It goes, heed my tale, I tell no fib. Beware the home of Millicent Quibb. You needn't fear the witch's curse. Mad scientists like her are much, much worse. If you hope to grow up past 11, or have a birthday when you're 7, or even make it past the crib, beware the home of Millicent Quibb.
Millicent Quibb, Kate McKinnon.
And she's the good one.
She's the good one.
But that's what they think of her.
Saturday Night Live in its 50th season. We have to see you back this season at some
I
point,
hope
right?
so. I'm in New York.
What do you mean you hope so?
I'm available. Call me.
Lauren, do you hear that?
I will come. If there's a croissant, I'll come.
You're fantastic.
Amazing.
She's already written the sequel, by the way.
Oh, you've written the sequel?
Yes.
I've written the sequel.
Bravo.
Yeah.
Bravo,
That'll be out
Kate
in a year.
McKinnon. Thank you.
Kate McKinnon, thank you very much. The Millicent Quibb School of Etiquette for Young Ladies of Mad Science is on sale right now.